Let's roll the clock back to 2013. Marcus Notch Persson had already changed the world with Minecraft, a game that became not just a phenomenon, but a cultural touchstone. The world was smitten by its open-ended creativity, its endless possibilities. Minecraft was a universe where you could build, shape, and dream, a limitless sandbox that allowed players to thrive. But here's where things get interesting. Notch, who had already carved out a piece of gaming history with Minecraft, decided to step away from this bright, boundless world and dive into something altogether darker and more chaotic. Shambles is a game unlike any you'd expect from the man who gave us Minecraft. It's not about building a better world, it's not about creation at all, it's about destruction, survival and blood-soaked desperation. In just a few short days, Notch traded his pickaxes for shotguns, his peaceful villagers for ruthless scavengers, and the result was something that, while small and forgotten by many, was still unique in its simplistic way. Unlike the vast expanses of Minecraft, where you have all the time in the world to build your dreams, Shambles was born out of a 7-day development time. It's lean, mean, and vicious, an artifact of compressed creativity stripped down to its most basic, brutal form. In Shambles, that translates into a relentless, teeth-gritting experience, where survival is fleeting and every second feels like it's borrowed from death itself. There's something almost poetic about the conditions under which Shambles was created. It's a game forged in a crucible of stress and exhaustion, an experience that mirrors the very game it became. Notch wasn't working with a sprawling canvas, he was painting with a dagger. Step into the world of Shambles, and the first thing that hits you is the sense of dread. This isn't a world brimming with opportunity or hope. This is a world that's already lost, a crumbling nightmare where the only law is violence. There's no majestic landscape to admire, no castles to build, no peaceful villages to protect. What you get is something far closer to a war-torn hellscape, a wasteland, brutal simplicity, where survival is a cold, desperate affair. The premise of Shambles is painfully simple. You are alone, surrounded by a handful of survivors and enemies, all of you thrown into this decaying world where the only currency is lead. There's no grand story, no epic quest to undertake. Instead, the game thrusts you into the grim role of a survivor, scavenging for ammunition and fending off both the infected and other NPCs who, like you, are just trying to scrape by in this unforgiving landscape. As you move through the skeletal cityscape, you quickly realize that you're not the only one with a gun and a will to survive. Other survivors roam the streets, and they aren't your friends. They are armed, dangerous, and ready to kill you. And then there are the infected, a shambling, grotesque reflection of a world gone wrong. They move like corpses given a second, miserable life, lurching toward you with an unrelenting hunger. They are not fast, but they don't have to be. In Shambles, it's not about whether you can outrun them. It's about whether you have the bullets to stop them. What makes Shambles particularly unsettling is how it strips away the conventions of typical survival games. There's no leveling up, no progression system, no safe haven to retreat to. You're always teetering on the edge of life and death, always a moment away from being overwhelmed. The game doesn't give you a sense of purpose or heroism. It gives you a gun and says, good luck. In Shambles, survival isn't a matter of careful planning or mastering complex systems. It's pure instinct, distilled down into moments of brutal, edge-of-your-seat gameplay. If Minecraft is a slow burn, a sandbox where you can shape the world to your liking, Shambles is the opposite. A fast, dirty scramble for survival, where death lurks around every corner, and every action feels like it could be your last. The gameplay of Shambles operates on a straightforward, almost nihilistic principle: you versus the world. You're dropped into a decaying cityscape with nothing but a gun and your wits, and you must scavenge for ammunition while fending off two deadly forces: the infected, shambling husks hungry for your flesh, and the other survivors who are just as desperate as you are. The scarcity of resources adds another layer of tension to the gameplay. Ammunition is your lifeline, and every encounter leaves you weighing the cost of survival. Is it worth using precious bullets on a group of infected, knowing that you might need them later for an encounter with another survivor? Or do you risk trying to outrun them, hoping you can find safety before they close in? There's no stockpiling for later, no building up a reserve of supplies. You live moment to moment, scavenging whatever scraps you can find, knowing that it's never enough. Shambles is a strange, haunting footnote in the career of Marcus Notch Persson. A game that emerged in the shadow of Minecraft, a towering colossus of creativity and possibility. Where Minecraft became a phenomenon, an enduring cultural touchstone that has shaped the imagination of millions, Shambles remains a niche, almost forgotten project. But why didn't Shambles catch fire like Minecraft? Why has it been relegated to the status of an obscure, forgotten classic? Part of the answer lies in the game's nature itself. Shambles was never meant to be a mass-market product. It's the video game equivalent of a grindhouse film, meant to shock, thrill, and leave you with the sense that you've seen something raw and unfiltered. It's not here to hold your hand or offer a sprawling adventure. It's a short, sharp dive into chaos, the kind of game that exists to challenge and unsettle, not to comfort. Moreover, Shambles emerged at a time when the world was still gripped by Minecraft mania. It's no surprise that a small, grim game like Shambles was overshadowed by the towering, all-consuming success of its older sibling. Notch was, at that point, a victim of his own success. The world wasn't looking for his next small project, it was looking for more of the Minecraft magic. And Shambles couldn't be further from Minecraft's sunny, creative world. It's bleak, hostile, and unforgiving, the antithesis of Minecraft's expansive worlds and endless possibilities. If Minecraft is about building something out of nothing, Shambles is about losing everything in the blink of an eye. That said, the legacy of Shambles isn't one of failure, it's one of purity. It's a game that exists solely as a product of Notch's creative mind, unleashed, stripped of any commercial consideration, built purely on instinct and experimentation. In a way, it's the most honest kind of a game, a raw, uncompromising experience that says exactly what it wants to say, without worrying about whether or not the world is ready to hear it. For those who have played it, Shambles stands as a testament to Notch's versatility as a creator. It's a reminder that the man behind Minecraft wasn't just a one-trick pony, capable of only crafting bright, blocky worlds of endless possibility. No, Shambles shows a side of Notch that was willing to take risks, to experiment with darker themes and more brutal mechanics. It's a game that proves even the most celebrated of creators can have a hidden depth, capable of diving into the more sinister corners of their imagination when given the chance. It may never have reached the same heights as Minecraft, but Shambles didn't need to. It's a different kind of creation, one meant to be experienced in a short burst, like a cult film that's raw, gritty, and perhaps too strange for the mainstream. and in that way Shambles leaves behind a legacy, a game that may have been overshadowed by its creator's more famous works, but one that remains a brutal, fascinating gem for those who dare to dive into its unforgiving world.